Hey beautiful people, welcome back to a new video on our channel Read Travel Become. In this video, I'm going to share 7 things I wish I knew when I was 18. Currently, I'm 25 years old and in a couple of months, I'm going to turn 26. And these days, I have developed this habit of retrospection, this habit of understanding where I've come from and how my experiences are changing my belief systems. I love journaling, I've been journaling a lot. So connecting all of these dots is a fun exercise. And by doing this exercise, I've come up with 7 things I wish I knew when I was 18. For those who are new on my channel, hi, my name is Avdoot and on this channel, I make videos related to books, travel and productivity. I've seen that my channel is being viewed by a lot of young students, by a lot of young professionals. So I thought it would be great to share some of these learnings with you guys because I feel these learnings would be very relatable to you guys. I hope you like this video. Make sure you watch the video till the end. You may never know which thought or fact may resonate with you and change the course of your life. So let's get started. The first lesson I wish I knew when I was a young student was that happiness is a choice. Now let me tell you what I used to think when I was a young kid. When I was preparing for my entrance exams, even when I was in college, I always thought that happiness is something which you get by doing something, that happiness is not a choice. But these days, I've come to a realization that happiness is a choice. Just like being fit can be a choice, you can work on your body, you can work on the nutrients and whatever you're eating. In the same way, if you want to be happy, it's in your hands. You can take steps to be happy. I know it's an unpopular debate that some people have mental health issues and stuff like that. But on the whole, if you want to be happy, you can make choices which can make you happy. One of the most problematic situations which I had was, I thought that until and unless I reach some level, until and unless I reach some goal, some ambition, I would not be happy. Let's take an example. I went to this place called Kota in Rajasthan for 2 years to prepare for my entrance examinations. I did not get into an IIT, but I got into an NIT. And while those 2 years, while I was preparing, I always thought I would be happy only when I get into an IIT and otherwise I won't be happy. These 2 years, every day, 365 into 2 days, I was always thinking my happiness depends on my selection. And that's why for those 2 entire years, I never felt happy. But that has been changed drastically now. I know today my happiness is in my control. I can do things which make me happy. Making content like this makes me happy. Waking up early in the morning these days makes me happy. Following systems, reading makes me happy. So it's all in your choice. It's not a goal that you have to reach to be happy. You can be happy on a consistent basis. And these happy micro habits, when they are stringed together, they can determine the quality of your life. I hope this makes sense, but the point being here, happiness is not a destination. There is no one big thing that is suddenly going to make you happy. You can be happy, you just have to be very aware. I wish I knew this when I was 18 years old. Next learning is think again. Think about your belief systems. This mindset radically comes from a book written by Adam Grant called Think Again by the same name, where he tells that whatever decision you make, whatever thing you have to do, whatever choice you make in life, think about it, that whether this choice is because of something of a preconceived notion or because of something which is surrounding you. So what I mean by this is, there doesn't have to be any bias attached to a decision. Sometimes situation is such that you're born in a certain environment, you're born in a certain circumstance. So you feel that circumstance, that surrounding is your truth and that is the eternal truth. And that does not help your mindset to grow. Whatever belief systems I had back then when I was a young guy, I thought that was the truth and whatever I was doing was the right thing and I used to defend myself. By applying this mindset of think again, I now try to analyze where is this coming from. If somebody is making me angry, I try to question myself, why is this making me angry? If I'm jealous because of something, why is this thing making me jealous? Is it because of some past event that has happened? Is it because of the surrounding or whatever it may be? Trying to question and trying to think why is this happening greatly reduces your stress and your anxiety. I wish I knew this when I was a young kid because I had to go through a lot of cycles of stress and depression and to get out of that took me a lot of time. But I can tell this to you guys, this has been written in a lot of books, not just Think Again, that whatever you're doing, try to ask yourself, why are you feeling this? Becoming aware of your feelings, becoming aware of your thoughts, it's like a magic. Just be aware of your feelings and thoughts and suddenly it just goes away. The anxiety goes away. The next learning and the biggest learning is know your game. Let me talk about this learning in a very Indian context. I know most of you are from India, but for people out there, I'll try to explain what I mean by this. When we are growing up as Indian students, we are conditioned in a certain way. We have limited ideas, we have limited career options. You know, the traditional career choices that we have when we are, let's say, in our 11th and 12th standard. Many people feel that this is a wrong thing. This is not exactly a wrong thing. This is just a launch pad for you to understand what your game is. You don't have to be hard on yourself that you chose a game and that game is not working for you. It's okay if you chose the wrong game, because only when you play a lot of games you get to understand what game actually resonates with you. What I mean by this is, you need to experiment a lot here. You need to try out a lot of things and not constantly try to blame yourself that why did you choose this. I took an engineering profession and I'm very happy with it. I was fortunate enough to charter a career path where my interest resonated. But along with this, I was trying a lot of other things. I used to play tennis, I used to dance a lot, I used to play music, I used to do theater, drama, I used to do quizzing a lot. So I basically played a lot of games, and through playing all of these games, this journey of content creation came out. Like, this was a very unique thing which I understood, that by playing all of these games, if I take something from each of these games, I can craft a unique personality of my own, which right here is in front of you guys. Knowing your game is a very important notion. You need to understand what game you are playing and what game you want to play. This can only happen when you're young. When you're young, try to experiment as much as you can. There's no barrier to anything. You may never know which game may resonate with you and change the course of your life. The next thing I wish I knew when I was 18 was the power of compound effect. If there's one thing which can entirely change your life, it can literally turn your life upside down, is knowing the compound effect, the power of compound effect, or the power of exponential returns. The compounding effect powers in only after a certain point, and to reach to that certain point, you just have to put in daily efforts. In investing, in your daily habits, in your fitness routines, in reading, everything, everywhere, in every sphere of life, compound effect applies. And what do I mean by the power of exponential returns? Let's say you want to get that perfect job. To get that perfect job, you have to apply to 1,000 companies. Let's say you want to meet that perfect match in your life. For that, you need to meet 1,000 people so that your chances of finding the right match becomes exponentially more. You want to become rich, you need to invest in a lot of places so that that one investment can, tackle all of your other bad investments. The law of exponential returns applies everywhere. I wish I knew this when I was a young kid, that you need to be very, very consistent with your tiny efforts. The efforts don't have to be very big. You don't have to put in everything. You don't have to put a lot of energy and work into whatever you're doing. Just tiny habits, tiny efforts every single day, and just wait for the compounding magic to happen. This is a very valuable learning lesson. You can also read the book Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. It talks a lot about the power of compounding effect. The next is one of my favorite learnings. I wish I could be a part of the creator economy early, and I wish I could start my YouTube channel very early on. Let me tell you, how did I start my YouTube channel? I was super bored when it was COVID times. There was a vacuum in my life. I was a person who used to love doing a lot of things, but suddenly when COVID came, I did not have anything to do. I had my job, but that was also remote, so I was really bored at home, and books were the only thing that I felt were keeping me sane. So I just picked up a camera, recorded myself, and shared some of the books that I had learned, and in that process I got so much joy that I continued it, and I uploaded one video every week for like 2 years. So that's how my journey started. But by deep diving into this content economy, by deep diving into the creator economy stuff, I understood that how valuable it is to give out value to people these days. You would feel that whatever you want to talk about, you want to share with people, somebody's already sharing that. It's not like that. You have your own unique voice. If the number of creators are increasing, the number of people who are watching the creators are also increasing exponentially. And when you share something in your own personal way, you have your human touch, your artistic touch, people will watch you. I wish I knew this early on so that I could start making videos very early on, but it's okay. I completely believe that creators are gonna run a large part of economy in the coming years, because giving value to people is one thing which is not going away anywhere. I was reading this book called The Icarus Deception by Seth Godin. Brilliant book. In that book, he has written that we are so accessible to the world these days. Let's say in the previous times, 10 years back, there was a dancer who wanted to dance, and he's just all his life, he's just finding that one perfect audition so that he could perform on stage. But now, if you want to dance, just record yourself, put it out on the internet. You want to go on the Oprah Winfrey show, you're not getting a chance, you start your own Oprah Winfrey show. That's how accessible people are these days. So I wish I knew more about the creator economy, but now you guys know. So let this be a reminder. If you have something to tell, if you have a voice, if you have something to share that is of value to people, pick up your camera and start recording. You won't regret it. The next learning on the list is kind of philosophical and it's kind of a little bit spiritual, because I've been reading a lot of spiritual books these days. I have read Sadhguru, I have read Light from Many Lamps, and I've read other spiritual books as well, where I feel I'm more connected to spirituality than ever. I've read the autobiography of a yogi by Paramahansa Yoganand. So by reading all of these things, the learning which I'm going to share now is look out for awes in your life. Now, what are awes? AWE, awes. Awes are basically those little moments which make you feel alive. For example, there are days, right, when you're just looking at some scenery. Let's say you're looking at a sunset and you feel very, very happy. You feel cleansed. Where is that feeling coming from? You look at a tree, you look at a river, you look at a fountain, you look at an ocean, you look at these natural things which are existent in nature, and they make you feel something. And not just natural. Let's say you're watching a football match in a stadium, you're watching a favorite IPL match. There's a different euphoria when you're surrounded with people, when you're watching a movie together in the theater. So these moments are all moments which cannot be taught, these cannot be explained, these things should just be felt. So I'm always on the lookout of awe moments in my entire day. However systematic the day is, you can always find out some moments where you can try to be with yourself, try to understand what things make you feel good, what things make your heart smile. So always be on the lookout for these awe moments. This is what I've learned, connecting to the natural reality of this earth on which we are living. And the seventh and the last learning which I feel my younger self should have known is mindset. All of this learning is dependent entirely on the book Mindset, written by Carol Dweck, where you just have to ask yourself a simple question: by doing this thing, am I practicing a growth mindset or a fixed mindset? So these two things are very, very important in your life, trying to understand whether you're coming from a fixed mindset, whether this is coming from a preconceived thing, or whether this is coming from something which you believe and you don't want to change, or you have a growth mindset. You try to face problems, you try to face adversity in a best possible way, you try not to stress about it and take more actions. Everything is compiled in the growth mindset. All of these good habits, all of these actionable items and working on yourself, everything can be compiled under the growth mindset. It's not a very heavy read, but it's one of those books which stays with you. Like, it's been quite some time that I've read that book, but this one concept, that asking yourself a question whether this is coming from a fixed mindset or a growth mindset, has stayed with me. So you can definitely check out this book, read this book. You won't be disappointed. So those were the 7 learnings I wish I knew when I was 18. If you have any stories to tell, if you think your younger self should know these things, do comment them down below. I would love to know what you think about this video and this kind of a format. Stay tuned for more such videos. I'm gonna make very, very interesting videos in the future. Thank you so much for watching the video till here. If you found any value in this video, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more such videos. That's all for this video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.